You know, that feeling, profound, hard to pin down. That sense you get when you're right on the edge, big, something shifts. It's not really pure excitement. And it's definitely not just fear. It feels deeper, like a quiet knowing, an inner pull.
Yeah, a sort of undeniable signal that things are about to change fundamentally.
Exactly. And if that feeling resonates with you listening, well, you're probably standing right at the doorway of what we're calling a new chapter.
Right.
So for this deep dive, that's our mission, to really unpack these new chapters. What are they? How did they even start? And what kind of surprising shift?
We're drawing on some really fascinating insights you shared.
Looking forward to it.
One of the first things that jumped out, maybe a bit counterintuitive, is that these new chapters, they don't exactly arrive with trumpets and fireworks.
No, not usually. It's much quieter.
Yeah, the research points to these quiet spaces, these moments of recognition. It's when you suddenly realize, truly realize, that the old story you've been living, it just doesn't fit anymore.
Right.
That's a key moment, the internal admission.
Right. Admitting you can't keep pretending. You can't force that old story to work when deep down you know you don't belong there anymore.
You just can't sustain the pretense.
So, okay, let's unpack that. What isn't a new chapter, according to the work we looked at? It's not about, like, becoming a totally different person overnight.
No, not at all. And it's not about just ditching everything you've built or running away from your problems, hoping they'll disappear. That's more escapism.
So if it's not that kind of external dramatic change, what is it fundamentally?
Well, it really comes down to internal recognition. That's the core of it. Think of it less like building a brand new house from scratch.
Okay.
And more like finally clearing out all the clutter in the house you've always lived in. You know, so you can actually see the original structure, the beauty that was always there.
Ah, I like that. So it was there all along.
Exactly. Just buried under layers of, well, conditioning, what society expected, maybe fear, all that stuff.
Right. So it's a shift from just going through the motion.
From unconscious living, to actually making conscious choices.
Yeah.
Moving from just sort of drifting along.
Actually taking directing things.
Precisely. From reacting to creating. And that shift, that reorientation in how you are, that is the essence of a new chapter.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how does this internal shift start showing up? Like in day-to-day life, you might not even realize it's happening at first, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can be subtle. You might find yourself making different choices almost automatically without a big internal debate. Or suddenly you're drawn to different kinds of people, new conversations, maybe experiences you wouldn't have even considered before.
And the opposite happens too, doesn't it? Things you used to love just lose their appeal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Things that used to grab all your attention might suddenly feel flat.
Oh.
Uninteresting.
It's like your internal compass just got a major update.
And the research suggests this isn't just random, like you're being flaky or something. It's described as a kind of reorganization. That's a great word for it. A deep reorganization. Your whole internal system starts to recalibrate itself to match who you're actually becoming now.
Recalibrate? What does that involve?
Well, think about it. Your values might shift, sometimes subtly, sometimes quite dramatically. Your priorities rearrange them. What was urgent last year might barely register now.
Okay.
And maybe one of the most noticeable things is your tolerance change. Your tolerance for certain kinds of energy, certain environments, maybe even certain relations.
Ah, yeah. So something that felt totally normal before might suddenly feel almost suffocating.
Exactly that. Suffocating or draining. And flip side, something that seemed completely impossible or out of reach might suddenly feel, well, inevitable, like it's the only path forward.
That sounds intense. Exhilarating maybe, but also kind of scary. I imagine that's where fear creeps up.
Oh, absolutely. This phase is often scary because people misinterpret this internal shift. They feel themselves changing, and the immediate thought is often, something's wrong with me.
They think it's instability, like they're losing their grip.
Precisely. They mistake evolution for instability. And what do you do when you feel unstable? You try to grab onto something familiar.
So you're trying to force yourself back into the old ways.
Yeah, back into the old patterns, the old thinking, the old routines, the relationships, the very things that don't fit anymore. It's a natural impulse driven by fear of the unknown.
Because we're taught the consistency,
Yeah.
but maybe we misunderstand.
We definitely do. We often confuse consistency with staying exactly the same forever. But that's not growth. That's stagnation.
Right, stagnation.
You simply cannot walk into a new chapter of your life and remain unchanged. The process itself demands that you evolve.
So, okay, if we're evolving and the old ways don't fit, that implies we need new tools, new skills for this new chapter. Because trying to use the old ones, that sounds like a recipe for feeling lost.
It absolutely is. And you probably will feel lost for a bit. You'll feel like nothing makes sense, maybe even like you're failing somehow.
But that feeling of being lost,
Yeah.
it isn't actually failure.
Not at all. That feeling is the feeling of learning. It's disorientation, but it's productive disorientation. Think about it like, imagine you've only ever walked your whole life.
Yeah.
Suddenly you need to swim.
Okay, yeah.
The skills that made you a great walker are completely useless in the water, maybe even counterproductive. The mindset you had on land doesn't apply. You need a whole new skill set, a whole new way of relating to your environment.
That's a great analogy. So it's not just what we do that changes.
No, it's how you see, fundamentally. This new chapter changes what you even notice around.
Yeah.
It shifts what you prioritize, what you believe is actually possible for yourself.
It changes the questions you ask.
Definitely. The questions you ask, and maybe even more importantly, the answers you're willing to truly hear and accept. And crucially, it demands a whole new relationship with uncertain, with discomfort, with the unknown itself.
Yeah, because in the old chapter, we wanted guarantees, didn't we? We needed the detailed plan, the roadmap, everyone's approval before we took a step.
We wanted certainty. We wanted to feel fully ready, completely confident.
But this new chapter, it seems to operate on a totally different principle. It asks what? Move before you feel ready.
Yes, exactly. Move before ready. Trust before you have proof. Commit before you have total clarity. Become before you even know exactly what you're becoming.
Wow, that requires a leap of faith. How do you lean into that when everything in you might be screaming for certain?
Well, part of it is understanding that the unknown isn't empty. It's not a void. It's actually pregnant with possibility. It's the space where everything you've been asking for, everything you're hoping for, has been waiting.
Waiting for us to be ready.
Waiting for us to be ready, yes. But ready in this context isn't about having all the answers or feeling zero fear. Ready means being willing not to know.
Willing to be surprised.
Willing to be surprised. Willing to let this new chapter teach you things your old chapter couldn't possibly have taught you. It's about surrendering a certain kind of control, the illusion of control, really.
That idea of surrender.
Yeah.
Letting go of trying to control the narrative, that feels huge. It's like shifting from trying to write the perfect story
to allowing the story to unfold through you.
Yes.
Moving from being the frantic narrator, trying to manage every plot point,
to just being the story, living it.
Exactly. And if the old chapter ran on plans and strategies and roadmaps, this new one runs on something else entirely.
Which is?
Trust, deep trust, intuition. That kind of knowing that doesn't come from your head, from logical analysis. It comes from somewhere deeper.
A gut, an inner knowing.
Yeah, quiet intelligence that's always been there, observing, waiting patiently for you to slow down and to act.
And listening itself. That's a skill we have to relearn too, isn't it? Because listening in the old chapter often meant something.
Oh, absolutely. Often it meant just waiting for your turn to talk, right?
Yeah.
Or analyzing what someone said so you could craft the perfect rebuttal or response.
Or filtering everything through what we already believe.
Filtering it, judging it. But real listening in this new chapter context, it means actively creating space inside yourself. Space for information, for perspectives that don't fit your current understanding.
Being willing to be changed by what you hear.
That's huge. Being willing to be changed and opening up to guidance from sources you might have previously dismissed or undervalued.
Like the body. You mentioned that quiet intelligence. Our bodies are constantly sensed, aren't they? That tension, that lightness.
Constantly.
Yeah.
For years. But what did the old conditioning teach us? Usually override those things. Push through the discomfort. Ignore the gut feeling because it wasn't logical.
Power through. Mind over matter.
Right. But this new chapter invites us to remember something crucial. Your body isn't just a machine you inhabit. Your body is conscious.
Yeah.
It is intelligence.
It knows things.
It knows things your mind hasn't caught up with yet. Those gut feelings, those physical sensations of rightness or wrong, they're data, rich data. Learning to trust that, to decode its language, is fundamental for navigating this new territory.
And the same applies to emotions, right? We often learn to see them as inconvenient signs of weakness, even.
Exactly. Interruptions to be managed or suppressed. But the new perspective is that emotions aren't interruptions. They are information, vital.
An internal guidance system.
A very sophisticated one. They tell you what's aligned with your true self and what's not. What feels expansive versus what feels contracting. Are you moving towards your truth or pulling away from it?
So the goal isn't not to feel them.
No. The goal is to learn to feel them fully, let them move through you, without getting completely swept away by the story they're telling. It's about extracting the wisdom, the information they carry.
Okay, let's take fear then, because that's a big one in transitions. Old chapter says, fear means stop, danger, run away.
Avoid at all costs, right?
Yeah.
It's a signal that you're doing something wrong.
But in this new chapter,
fear often points you exactly where you need to go next. Most of the fear we feel in these times isn't about immediate physical danger.
it's about growth, the unknown.
Precisely. It's your system lighting up, saying, warning, you are now approaching the edge of your current comfort zone. And that edge, that boundary, that's the exact place where the transformation happens. It's the line between who you've been and who you're becoming.
So wrapping this up, these new chapters don't happen because of one giant leap. It sounds like it's more about a series of smaller choices.
Yes. Continuous, small, often quiet. Choices to trust something bigger than your limited. Choices to say yes when all your old conditioning is screaming no.
Choosing to move forward when staying put feels safer. Choosing expansion when contraction feels easier.
Exactly. It's about starting to operate from a different internal foundation, in a different center.
And this whole process, this transformation, it's not something to like mourn or fight against.
No, absolutely not. It's something to celebrate, truly. Think about it. The version of you that recognized the need for change, the part of you that was brave enough to even listen when that first whisper of possibility came through, that version of you did its job perfectly. It got you right here to this threshold.
That's a lovely way to see it. So maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Well, maybe consider this. Your new chapter isn't something you have to figure out entirely and then start writing.
Okay.
It's already writing itself right now through you. The real invitation is just to trust that unfolding, trust the process.